Good morning. Okay, we're good. Yeah, getting it. Good morning. Good morning. We're good. Yeah, getting it.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to All Souls, where love is the spirit of our community. Whether you're joining us in person or online, in the present, or catching up with us later, please know that you matter to this community. In this time of great division, may you find hope, love, and community here. Now, please rise and embody your spirit to greet your neighbor with your name and pronouns, and folks online, please introduce yourselves in the chat. Thank you, choir. That was beautiful. I'm Austin Mitchell. My pronouns are he, him, and I'll be serving as the worship associate for today's service, together with Nancy Olson, Director of Congregational Life and Faith Formation, and Liz Elsmore, Music Director, both with pronouns she, her. We are your worship team on the chancel today. We're also joined by several congregants who will be offering reflections throughout the service. And you may notice Reverend Katie is not here. She is unfortunately feeling ill today and is resting at home. So we're wishing her a speedy recovery. We extend a warm and joyful welcome to people of all ages. If you have little ones with you, nursery care is available for your convenience. We also invite everyone to complete a connection card. You can find those in the pews on the ends, or you can fill out a digital connection card by scanning the QR code located outside the sanctuary. This is a fantastic way to let us know how we can support you or share any interests, comments, or concerns you may have. You also may have noticed it's quite chilly in the sanctuary today. One of my favorite quotes from Reverend Katie is that we do not need to be the frozen chosen. So please, feel free to get up, move to other areas of the building, or do whatever you need to do to stay warm today. It is much warmer in the atrium right over there, and we've set up some extra seating in there you can use anytime during the service or during coffee hour. And now we have an announcement from Julia Van Daren.
Hello, I have a short but important announcement. We are getting ready to launch our annual stewardship drive. And I know we just completed the capital campaign, and some of you are still reeling from words like campaign and commitment and financial goals. So we'll do our best not to overwhelm you with the stewardship drive. Our theme this year is sustaining the covenant. Every Sunday we say together, love is the spirit of this church and service is its law. To dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another, this is our covenant. Those are beautiful words, but they're not just poetry, they're practices. They're worship services and RE classes. They're pastoral care visits. They are our justice partnerships and community meals, and just the quiet ways we show up for each other when it matters most. That daily ordinary and extraordinary life of this church is sustained and stewarded by all of us. In the coming week, you'll receive an email in your inbox officially kicking off the stewardship drive and inviting you to make your pledge for the year ahead. And again, our fiscal year is July 1 through June 30th, so we're talking 26-27 pledge year. When you see that email, please open it, read it, and really reflect on what it means to you to be part of this community. If you're able, we encourage you to consider increasing your pledge, not because we love asking, but because love is what makes this congregation possible, and together we can ensure that our ministry not only continues, but grows. This isn't about pressure. We're not going to spend a lot of time hammering you about this, but it is about participation. It's about choosing again and again to live into our covenant together. Thank you truly, truly for all the ways that you have already given, and we thank you in advance for choosing to continue to sustain and steward this. And we're excited to kick off our pledge drive. Well, as excited as anyone is to ask for money, but we're gonna get this going. So look for that email in your inbox, and starting next week, we will, as in the past, we will have a way to make your pledge online. We will also have paper forms in the social hall after starting next week. So thank you guys so much.
As we begin our time together, we acknowledge the land itself and those who have sustained it through the generations. We are upon the unceded land of the Lenape, Miamia, Kaskaskia, Shawnee, and Kickapoo people, who were pushed from their land and whose children have been stolen for generations. As we strive to be a community of justice, may we continue to find ways to make real reparations.
Our call to worship this morning is called The Church Incarnate, the words by Elizabeth Barish Brown. Am I on? Very good. Yeah, you need to hear this because it's good. Come into this place, bringing all you hold with you. Though your heart be heavily burdened, whether you be on the brink of tears or burn with unquenchable rage, this community can hold you and your strongest emotions. Yes, even the messy ones are welcome here. Come in if you sing a bit too loud, or if you hold still as statues and just breathe it in. If you sway to the music, moving your soul, you're welcome. Come in and say amen when the Spirit moves you. Tell that preacher to preach. That's right, tell us. Or close your eyes and quietly let your mind float free on the blessed words. Come into this place with every piece of yourself gathered up, and let us be the church incarnate. Let us bring forth the Spirit of all that we love by the words of our mouths and the doing of our hands as we make sacred this time together. Let us worship together.
Good morning. John is doing triple duty this morning, lighting the chalice, helping out while Rev Katie's gone. Can't hear me. How's this? Still not working? Want me to move to this? No? Wow. Okay. All right. We are good. This ritual of lighting our chalice, it reminds us to continually renew our promise, to live into our covenant, to put love into action, and to live out this community of love and justice that we surely aim to be. So if you would please rise in body or spirit as we share the words that are printed on your order of celebration. We'll say the words in Spanish first and then English. And if you are with us online, please let us know in the chat where you might be lighting your chalice from. El amor es el espíritu de esta iglesia, y el servicio es su ley, vivir juntos en paz, buscar la verdad en el amor, y ayudarnos unos a otros. Este es nuestro pacto. Love is the spirit of this church, and service is its law, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another. This is our covenant. Thank you. And I have a piece of paper I need to get. Well, oh, here's Catholic. Here's for the priestess. Catholic. Priestess.
Yes.
Okay. I want everybody having their papers. So we have a little play for you today. It's about King John Sigismund, who was the only Unitarian king. And what a king he was. And there's a little, this is comes from a story that we often tell the children. It comes from a children's book on Unitarian Universalism, and we have a UU ensemble here today to help tell this story. So let me start and say that our story takes place in the mid-1500s, and it is in the country of Hungary, also known as Romania. I know you can all see this really well, but just, gives you a little sense. And we start with our queen. Oh, queen. Let's Just get your lines. Where'd you go? There we go.
I'm Queen Isabella of Hungary. I've just had a baby. My husband, King John, is away fighting. Hungary is such a sad place to live right now. Everyone is fighting. My husband fights with kings from other countries. Groups of people within Hungary are fighting with other groups of people. A lot of the warring is about religion. I wish King John would stop fighting and come home to see our baby. I wish people would talk about their differences instead of trying to kill each other over them.
Oh, unfortunately, King John died just 2 weeks after the baby was born, and he never saw his son. So little Prince John Sigismund became the new king of Hungary.
All hail King John Sigismund of Hungary.
Well, King John Sigismund was obviously way too young to rule a country. Kings from other countries took most of Hungary away from John Sigismund and kept it for themselves.
I'm taking my baby to live in a small corner of the kingdom called Transylvania. I will teach him to be a wise ruler, and I will help him put an end to all of the fighting.
While this young king was growing up, the wars continued and continued. In Transylvania, the followers of different religions kept fighting with each other. Queen Isabella died when John Sigismund was 19 years old, and it was now all up to him to try to stop the wars.
What should we do? How can we stop the fighting?
One king, one country, one religion. Just as they do in France and Spain, we must choose one religion for Transylvania. Everyone will have to follow it, and then we will have no more fighting.
I don't know. You know, my dear mother taught me that people should try to solve their differences by talking. I wonder, what if I invite people from different religions to my court to talk together?
And that is just what King John Sigismund did. He invited a number of preachers to his court for a conversation about religion.
I am a Calvinist preacher.
I am a Catholic priestess. I am a Lutheran preacher.
I am a Greek Orthodox preacher.
I am Francis David. I'm a Christian who believes that God is one, not three. Since I think God is a unity, some people call me Unitarian.
Of course, preachers are great talkers. And they talked on and on and on, and for days. Sometimes they argued, but they didn't fight.
Wow, I'm really impressed with Francis David, the Unitarian. He makes a lot of sense to me, and I think I'm going to become a Unitarian too.
I say one king, one country, one religion.
I say we need not think alike to love alike.
Well,
One
I
king.
could do what the noble suggests and make everyone in Transylvania become Unitarian, like Francis David and me. But one of the things I like best about Francis David is that he says we don't need to all think alike.
Well, King John Sigismund thought hard and hard about what to do. He was still just a young man, and he had a very big decision to make. Should he demand that everyone practice the religion that he had chosen for his own? Or should he let everyone choose for themselves?
I hereby issue an edict of religious toleration. I proclaim that every person can follow the religion of their own choosing. No one shall be reviled for their religion by anyone else. Francis David, I invite you to remain here to be my court preacher.
This is not quite a happily ever after story, because King John Sigismund at age 31 died following a carriage accident. After his death, Unitarians were not always tolerated. Francis David was eventually imprisoned for his ideas, and he died in a dungeon. But because of King John Sigismund and Francis David, Unitarianism took hold in Transylvania, where it remains very strong to this day, and you will be hearing more about that in this service. Unitarianism began with beliefs about the unity of God, and it also came to stand for religious freedom and tolerance. And that is a little bit of history of our Unitarian roots. Thank you. Get these all out of here. You guys are troopers, and you even
As you are able, and join us in singing hymn 1051 from the Teal hymnal, We Are. For each child that's born, a morning star rises and sings to the universe who we are. For each child that's born, a morning star rises and sings to the universe who we are. We are our grandmother's prayers, and we are our grandfather's dreamings. We are the breath of our ancestors. We are the Spirit of God. We
Hi, I'm Jim Scrimenti, and I got a short piece here that I wrote regarding how the Partner Church project came about. And if you can't hear me, let me raise your hand or something. But in 1998, All Souls invited a minister from a UU church in Louisville, Kentucky, to come and speak to our congregation about the Partner Church project. At that time, the program of matching Unitarian congregations in Transylvania with the ones in the U.S. was being revived for the purpose of creating a relationship where both sides could benefit from learning about each other. This is being revived from something that had been started in the 1930s. Transylvania lies in an area of northern Romania. It's about 1/3 of the country. And was the birthplace of Unitarianism in 1568. 110 Unitarian congregations exist there currently, mostly small village churches. All Souls was matched with a city church in Shepsey, St. George, which has about 200 active members. It's a fairly large city. That congregation was in the process of building a new church and was pretty far along, but they asked if All Souls could help them purchase some smaller items, such as the minister's bench and the pulpit, which would speed the building project. So we fundraised the needed amount, and the church building was finished shortly afterwards. But then we learned that an important church project where we could make a big difference was in helping the college-age youth who came from needy single-parent families to attend university, which cost $500 per year at that time for those who commuted from home. We raised enough money over the years to offer full or partial scholarships to about 25 young people who otherwise had little chance of going to college. We have also, over the years, invited 4 Transylvanian ministers to speak from our pulpit, and our All Souls members have made 7 trips to Shepsey St. George in groups of 4 to 12 people. I believe all of us truly enjoyed meeting the members of our partner church and visiting the cities and sites, the cities and sites important to the history of Unitarian Church, all against the background of the beautiful mountains and valleys of Transylvania. That's a very brief history of what we've done with the partner church, and I plan to retire from my role as the point man for the partner church relationship. If there's anybody out there or anybody that you know that comes to All Souls that may want to take that over, please let me know. Thank you. Now, Celeste and Kathy are going to talk about aspects of the trip, our most recent trip there.
Thank you, Jim, for that history and for all the work you've done over the years. Please join me now in taking a few moments to note that which is currently bringing joy or sorrow to our community. We hold in our hearts Barb and Ollie Howe as they navigate the loss of Barb's father, the Reverend Ernest Batman. The two of them are taking time away to recharge, and they wish to thank everyone for all the support they have received. And now, let us hold a moment of silence together for the joys and sorrows in our hearts that are yet unnamed. Thank you.
Good morning. Good morning. How about that? No. Oh. Okay. All right. This morning, I'm going to give you a brief overview of our trip to Romania, our pilgrimage to Romania. The purpose, as Jim mentioned, was to visit our sister church in Svepsi Svante Georgi, which is St. George in English, and meet the ministers and congregation. It was also the occasion for donating $1,000 from All Souls to the scholarship fund for congregants in that church who need financial assistance for college. Romania is not a wealthy country. Per capita income in Romania in 2024 was $21,000, compared to the U.S., where our per capita income that year was $73,000. That gap is due in large part to the lingering effect of decades of communist misrule and economic mismanagement. But Romania is working hard to catch up. To give it a little geographic context, because this is really small. So basically, Romania's neighbors going clockwise are Hungary to the northwest, Ukraine to the northeast, Moldova to the east, Bulgaria in the south, and Serbia to the southwest. The Danube forms the border between Romania and Bulgaria. The Carpathian Mountains form nearly a circle within the country, so mountains are visible just about everywhere you go. The Carpathians are still a wild and sparsely populated area and home to many of the last large carnivores in Europe. Lynx, wolves, and bears abound there and are in varying degrees protected as natural treasures. The Unitarian heritage is also a treasure, a spiritual and cultural heritage. In preparation for the pilgrimage, I read about the history of Romania, especially the time of the Edict of Torda and how that came about. I learned that Ferenc David, the 16th century theologian whose teachings made the edict possible, he founded the Unitarian Church, as we heard earlier, in Transylvania after an arduous spiritual journey. He started out an ordained Catholic priest, then became a Lutheran minister, then a Calvinist bishop, before ultimately rejecting the doctrine of the Trinity. That's why we're called Unitarians. I didn't realize that because we reject the notion of God being in three parts. And I realized that his journey was not so different from the path that brought me and many of you to Unitarianism. Our trip lasted 10 days, during which time we traveled through Transylvania and visited Bucharest, as well as the Unitarian towns and other amazing historical sites. Everywhere we went, we enjoyed delicious Romanian and Hungarian food. Romania has had a tumultuous history. Transylvania, the northern middle portion of the country, has passed back and forth between Romania and Hungary for centuries. That's why there are numerous Hungarians in Transylvania, and why the Hungarian language and Hungarian food are prominent features of Romania today, and why many people in this region speak both languages. The members of Svantuk Georgi are Hungarian. They're very proud of their heritage, both culturally and spiritually. Our trip was a very meaningful experience, as we were able to actually spend time with people and fellow Unitarians and get acquainted with them. Their warmth and kindness made this trip a once-in-a-lifetime event.
Please join us now singing from the great hymnal 352, Find a Stillness.
Find a stillness, hold a stillness, let the stillness carry me. Find the silence, hold the silence, let the silence carry me. In the Spirit, by the Spirit, with the Spirit giving power, I will find true harmony. Seek the essence, hold the essence, let the essence carry me. Let me flower, help me flower, watch me flower, carry me. In the Spirit, by the Spirit, with the Spirit
Good morning, friends. I'm Kathy Tanner, she, her. I've been fortunate over the years to travel to many places around the world. I've experienced such a variety of foods and music and festivals and amazing people. When the opportunity came to visit Romania, I was all in. Celeste, Mike, and I were so warmly greeted at our first evening at the Unitarian Church of Sepsi St. George. Their ministers, Rev. Agnes and Rev. Livia, as well as some of the members of the congregation, greeted us. They prepared a reception area for us with some pastries, cheeses, breads, and a powerful, notorious plum brandy called Palinka. Over the next days, we were escorted to quaint old Unitarian churches, to towering Gothic cathedrals, to a market festival celebrating Hungarian heritage, and even to a tractor festival. On the weekend, the congregation came together for a picnic in the church courtyard. We feasted on savory Hungarian goulash, learned to make Hungarian chimney cake, and enjoyed a glass or two of Palinka. For the service on Sunday, Rev. Livia thoughtfully provided copies of her sermon in English. We thank the congregation for their gracious welcome and for the opportunity to build a larger Unitarian community across the miles. I expected that this trip to Transylvania would provide avenues of learning for me about Unitarianism. And as Celeste mentioned, we learned about Francis David and his argument for Unitarian faith and for freedom of religion. We also learned, as Celeste mentioned, that he had quite a spiritual journey from Catholic priesthood to Unitarian bishop. What was unexpected for me in this journey was the strong spiritual connection that I would feel with Francis David when we visited the Hilltop Fortress prison where he died. The prison is in much disrepair, but Francis David's cell still remains. In that space, I sensed a bond with the clergyman gone nearly 500 years. Almost like embracing a dear friend, I felt support, direction, and love. I carry that feeling with me, along with all the memories of our Romanian visit.
This week we are sharing our offering plate with UUSJ, Unitarian Universalists for Social Justice. UUSJ aligns with our UU values by advocating to Congress and other elected officials for policies that align with those values. Current priorities include stopping ICE funding, promoting Medicare for all, and full funding for critical programs like SNAP and food stamps. To contribute, you can gift cash or a check into the collection plate, or if online, you can go to allsoulsindy.org, where you will find a link that says Donate in the top right corner. If you are paying online or using a check, please indicate if your gift is a pledge payment or if it is for Share the Plate. Thank you for your generosity in supporting the mission of All Souls and for your continued love for one another and for this world. The morning offering may now be given and gratefully received.
Quiet,
Now for these closing words by Wendell Berry. The name of the poem is The Wild Geese. Horseback on Sunday morning, harvest over, we taste persimmon and wild grape, sharp, sweet of summer's end, in time's maze over fall fields. We name names of those who went west from here, names that rest on graves. We open a persimmon seed to find the tree that stands in promise, pale in the seed's marrow. Geese appear high over us, pass, and the sky closes. Abandon as in love or sleep, holds them in their way clear in the ancient faith. What we need is here, and we pray not for new earth or heaven, but to be quiet in heart and in eye, clear. What we need is here. I invite you now to turn to hymn number 1020 in the Teal hymnal. Oh, yeah.
We are going, heaven knows where we are going, but we know nothing. And we will get there, heaven knows when we will get there, but we know we will. It will be hard, we know, and the road will be muddy and rough, but we'll get there. Heaven knows when we will get there, and we know we will. Oh yeah, yeah, oh yeah, yeah, oh yeah, yeah, oh yeah, yeah. We are going. Heaven knows where we are going, but we know within we will get